All right, so torrent downloads come with their own limitations. Downloading large files can be sped up thanks to BitTorrent. But when it comes to watching full-length video, let's say, those downloads can still take quite a while. That keeps the user from watching their content until it's totally done transferring. Ryan Whitwam from Geek.com is here to talk about a new solution for streaming torrents. Welcome to the show, Ryan.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Hey, it's good to have you on here, sir. So first of all, tell us a little bit about this Torrents Time and kind of what it, technically what it's doing to the torrenting process.
So it's a browser plugin, which is it's able to on trackers that support it will let you basically stream the video contained in the torrent, and that starts in a couple of minutes. So it's considerably faster than if you're going to download a torrent and then manage the files and stream it to whatever you were going to watch it on. It's just, once you get it installed, it's like a button click and a little bit of buffering, and it just starts playing a video. It's kind of magical and neat. And then you just sort of, and then like you just showed on the page there, they have a test video on their webpage that is a royalty-free video, as if that's what people are going to use it for. Right. But obviously that's not what's happening. People are going to watch Game of Thrones. So it's a little bit buggy and weird right now. They're very big on this whole like it happens instantly thing, but it doesn't really. It takes a few minutes to buffer. So it contains a torrent client, and which is an open source component that they modified, and then apparently a completely custom video player. So it sort of preferentially downloads the chunks of data that are at the beginning of the video that you actually want to start watching. Because when you're downloading a torrent, normally through most clients, it just downloads whatever is whatever it can get at any time. It just puts the file together later. So this, it starts downloading, more or less the beginning and then to the end, and it'll download the file, and you're streaming it, and it shares the file like any other torrent client, but it doesn't keep all the files. So you don't have to deal with like a bunch of giant files later. It's just on the surface, it feels like Netflix streaming, even though it's, a torrent client.
So what makes this different? I mean, why was this news? Are there other sites that do this, or have no sites done this yet?
This is very reminiscent of a service called Popcorn Time, which was originally it was like its own self-contained thing that listed torrents from other trackers, and you would sort of stream video like that. But it had a number of legal issues, and the original version of that doesn't exist anymore. So this is kind of a way to do a similar thing, but it can work on any tracker that decides to support it. So the Pirate Bay added it the other day, and now it's kind of, in some ways, if you want to think of it like this, the largest video streaming site in the world now. And a number of other sites have decided to add it too. There's a sort of a clone of Popcorn Time now that has this, and it's. I mean, if it's adopted widely, it'll make the whole torrent thing a lot easier, and I think maybe kind of dangerous for people that don't know what they're doing, because you're still running a torrent client. When you connect to the Swarm to download this, what you're seeing is you just click a button and video streams. But what you're actually doing is the same thing you would do with a torrent client, and if there's a rights holder that's watching the Swarm, like some of them do now, to send out infringement notices to ISPs, you would get caught up in that. But so here's the thing that this product does to make money, apparently. When you connect to a Swarm, it pops up a warning and says, oh, by the way, your IP address is in the open when you're doing this. Do you want to pay a few dollars for this VPN that we have built into the streaming service? So I guess some people might do that, but...
And is it a one-time fee? Let's see here. Okay, so it's.
I think that it's either. I think it's daily. You pay a couple bucks, like 24 hours, and then I think they have longer-term plans. I don't know anything about the VPN that they're using though. So I mean, I don't know for sure if that's actually, one that you would want to use.
Right. Right.
But I mean, just in general, like the way you download this feels kind of shady because you're on the Pirate Bay and they have a little link now for streaming. You click it and it downloads an EXE. Which, if you've been using the internet for any length of time, is not safe. You don't want to do that. I mean, and I can't say for sure that this is safe in general. It doesn't smell like malware. It just seems shady. And it seems like they have a business model, and they have a GitHub where they have some of the open source code up. So There's nothing inherently illegal about a torrent client or, in this case, a torrent streaming service. It's just what you do with it. Like you could go out, you could have a gun, and that's not illegal. But if you use the gun to rob a bank, that's very illegal.
Yeah, so Netherlands-based Brine, it's an anti-piracy group, has actually issued a cease and desist already. You know, it took them a week to do it to Torrents Time, basically stating that the tools, you know, primary use is to facilitate content infringement. I know that this was kind of used on BitTorrent back in the day too, and like you said, Ryan, like, you know, BitTorrent is a technology. Yes, it is used very frequently for infringing, but it can also be used for other things. Is this the kind of thing, like, do groups like Brian have a leg to stand on in this race at this point, or are they just kind of too late to the game as far as this is concerned?
I feel like going after the tools like that, that really only works when the people you're going after don't have the resources to fight back. Because I don't think it'll actually hold up if it really comes down to a legal battle. Mm-hmm. Because I mean, you could make any number of arguments about things you can do with this that are completely legal. So, I mean, the thing about this particular implementation is it doesn't rely on the people who are making it to have like an active website or a server or anything. It's you know, a file that's distributed. It's a browser plugin. It could be delivered in any number of ways. They don't have to be, you know, actively distributing it themselves if they have deals with all these trackers that can give it to people.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is interesting stuff. I would say use at your own risk if you choose to, if this is your cup of tea. But just want to thank you so much for coming on, Ryan. Ryan Whitwam, tell people where they can follow you and all the work that you do online. I know you're in a bunch of places.
I get around. Just go to Twitter at Ryan Whitwam. It's down there at the bottom. I list all of the places that I work. You can go and read the words that I write.
Really
Thanks,
appreciate
Ryan.
having you on, Ryan. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks.